Okay, so I think you remember we did page 171 in evaluating an argument, right? And we talked about how the claim and then the evidence has to be relevant, but it also has to be sufficient. There's enough, right? Just to refresh my memory, because every class is a little different. Did we do page 172? And we did the four corners, didn't we, with 172? So really, you guys are working on cars, right? Page 174 and 5. How is that coming? Oh.
Oh, I was doing page 171.
Tell me how, so you're doing it step by step. So you're on what page? 171 still? Okay, so let's just do a quick review, just make sure we're all on the same page. So when we did this paragraph about the solar power cars, the claim was research money should be used to develop affordable solar power cars, right? So tell me, what was the first reason that the author gave for why we should do that?
Solar powered cars would reduce pollution from fossil fuels.
Excellent, absolutely, Gabby. So if you look at that solar powered cars, what was your transition word? Was there a transition word that tipped you off? That was your first reason.
It was first.
Yeah. So when you're writing your arguments here soon, remember the power of transition words guiding the reader, right? Because it makes it really easy. What was their second big reason, Mason?
Solar power is a renewable resource.
That will never run out, right? Yep. Very good. And where's their transition word? What is it?
In addition.
Perfect. And Shasta, what about evidence 3?
It would also help the customer save money or consumer save money.
Oh, where'd you find that? That's interesting.
It's not behind the sentence, but she had it.
So it's a renewable resource that will never run out. Solar cars would also help the consumer save money. That is really interesting, and that's not one they wrote in there, is it? And was there a transition word in that sentence that helped you figure that out?
Would also.
Yes, perfect. And is there another reason? Gabby?
By the way, solar powered cars would also come in all the same colors as gas powered cars, but it does not relate back to the claim.
Very good. And so did you see how that one just weakens it terribly, right?
When I was trying to answer it in the little black text right here.
Yes.
When I was writing it
In
down,
this part right here.
when I wrote it down, I said claims and evidence is already stated. And I said all the evidence provided is relevant to the claim besides evidence number 3.
Perfect. Oh, that's so beautifully stated. Yes, excellent. Beautiful.
That's okay that I didn't do because it's already provided.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't have expected you actually to, anything that's already written there, you probably don't have to write. It's just, and this one was really showing you how to do this. That when you're given a claim, you break it down, you say, okay, what is the claim? What is the evidence? Is there enough evidence? And is it relevant? Does it relate back to the claim? Good question. All right, let's go back to page 172 real quick. Let's take a quick look. This was continuing on with Al Gore's speech, and they said down here, this excerpt follows a section of the speech in which Gore makes claims about the dangers of relying on expensive foreign oil. So that part of the speech has already happened, but then it says, what's his claim now? Well, they obviously tell us the claim is we should use fuels that are cheaper, cleaner, and more easily accessible than foreign oil, right? What specifically, what evidence specifically backs or supports that in this section right here? Mason?
Scientists have confirmed that solar energy falls on the surface of the Earth every 40 minutes to make 100% of the entire world's energy needs for a full year.
Perfect. That's absolutely. And is there another support you can find that's pretty good?
Wind power blows through the Midwest corridor every day to also meet 100% of U.S. electricity demand.
Good. And there's a third one that's not as fleshed out. Does anyone know that third one? What is it?
Geothermal energy similarly is capable of providing and wanting us to positive case.
Perfect. So there is enough evidence, but my question is could it be better evidence?
Yes.
Why?
It could be more stated about
It
geothermal.
could be more expanded, like it's saying around the same thing.
There is one thing that they could do to make this totally pop out as solid and believable.
Back up each evidence more.
How?
Back it up
That's my question. How?
with how it meets, like what it does.
Okay, that could be more explanation. So when we do raise and restate, answer cite and explain, you could expand on it. But just look within the citing. Who confirmed this? Who are they citing as their expert?
Scientists.
Scientists. How could they have made that even more believable?
By putting like a quote or something by a certain scientist.
Okay,
They could have named specific scientists.
yes. Do you see if you had given me the specific name of a scientist and his or her credentials, you know, top environmental scientist Lucy Liu states, because then I can check on how believable Lucy Liu is, right? All right. And it's a big difference between her and Bob the mechanic who practices science in his garage on the weekends, right? So credentials really matter. So especially because you guys have got some really high writing abilities, I really want you to look at the quality of the evidence you provide. Is it specific? Is it clear? That's how you're going to move up to distinguished, okay? All right, so that's good. Then, do you remember when we did Four Corners with this one?
Yes.
So we already did this one. And
Which one?
on page 173, I wonder if you were absent that day.
Oh no, I did that.
You remember that? All right, so here's the next step. Let's look at 174. And what you have is clean cars for California. And we're going to read this article. And if you look, I would really use the little blue side fence, okay? Because it will help you find what you're looking for. But you've got 2 multiple choice questions. And the third open response question down here, decide how successful the author's argument about Advanced Clean Cars program is. Write a paragraph evaluating the soundness of the author's claims and the evidence used to support it. Cite at least 2 details from the passage to support your response. So this is a race answer I want you to write, right? Be thinking, what did we say is sufficient amount of evidence? What do we can? 3 would be best, but if you can't find 3, 2 really solid ones well explained, right? And then what does relevant mean?
And the thing it's not like a totally different.
What word sounds like relevant? What other word is that?
Same related.
Related. So it very much relates to the claim, not like the, well, it can also come in different colors. In the solar car one, how that didn't really make sense, okay? So do you feel like you have enough to be able to do this well? Okay, so you keep working on this, and then what I'm going to ask you guys to do as a group when you're all done, because I think you actually can help each other out a lot. I want you to compare your answers with one another after you're done. I want you to work on it first, then go share what you've come up with and see if you agree. And then when you've done that, then you can turn it in for me to be ready. Okay? Great job, guys. Any questions you have for me? Outstanding. Thank you. Can I have, let's go with, how about station 1? Read theory people, come see me real quick. You can bring your computers with you if you want. I only have 2 of you today. Can you sit? Oh, 3 of you. There we are. Yay, all 3. Wonderful. Okay. So guys, what I wanted to check with you on today is how you're feeling about it. Is everything going well? Do you feel like, let me log in real quick. Are you struggling at all with any particular kind of question? You're on the 7th grade level now? Are you really?
I'm almost to 8th.
Oh my gosh.
I went
I'm
on
on
to
8th
this.
right now.
And you're on it, so you guys are doing really well with this.
I've also did like over
grade
quizzes.
10.
You missed one on that one. Do you know why you missed it?
The questions are kind of a little bit wordy.
Okay, but look individually, go down to that question real quick. And,
Like I know.
oh, you can't go back to it. So when it's all done though, if you guys, like right now, go to the little chart thing, it looks like a bar graph that you have. Yeah, your progress. And then go down to the bottom. And you'll probably see like the last 4 or 5 tests you did. Can someone grab that for me, please? Thank you. And if you look, like I'm gonna look at Noah right now, okay? So if you look down here, Noah, I can look, and yes, you've been climbing. I have all your tests from the very first you've ever taken, but you can click on that test and look at it. So take a test maybe you missed one on, all right? Did they need me?
Miss Johnson said to call her during the airplane.
Okay. All right, so, like, I look at, and I'm not gonna talk, but if I look, I think this is Noah's, on your last test you did, was it the store that sells?
Yes.
Okay, so then I look and I go, oh, he missed question 4, I can see it, right? So then, when I look at that one, you're trying to figure out what the purpose of paragraph 4 is. So then you didn't get it right, but there's an explanation down there. How well are you really reading and understanding that explanation?
The explanation of it doesn't really tell like why that question's right. It just tells why the.
Okay, it says, and sometimes that's the best way to figure it out, is to eliminate choices. But let's see what it says. It says, 4 begins, finally we look at the future. The paragraph it then continues by explaining the school children of Springdale will likely be the Greenleaf Market shoppers as they grow. Next, the paragraph provides, do you see how they're walking you through what the paragraph does? And that's going to be really important. It says paragraph 4 tries to show the future generations will shop at Greenleaf Market in Springdale because of the children of Springdale who are interested in sports. And then it goes on to say the paragraph argues that Greenleaf Market in Springdale will likely continue to make money. Therefore, this answer is correct. And I don't want to say it because they might get it later. But if you don't understand the explanation, then when I'm not in another group, stop, come ask me, and let's figure out what's going on. So you get done with the test. Are you all taking the test and then going back and reviewing the answers you missed?
Yes.
You are.
Well,
Wyatt?
I did once or twice.
Okay. I want that to become a habit, okay? So you've taken the test, go down to the bottom, click on it, find out which ones you missed, just kind of like what we do on CERT, okay? Review it, find out why you missed it, and if you still don't understand why you missed it, you come talk to me. And yes, you'll go slower, but that's okay, isn't it? Because if you don't get that kind of question wrong again, think how much better you're gonna be. Does that make sense for you guys? Are you happy with your progress so far? Yeah.
I went all the way up to 8th grade.
And where were you when you started? Well, I
There's
can tell
one-
you.
There's one test.
What was your pretest?
My pretest was 4th.
No, almost 5th.
And,
Yeah, mine was 5th too.
and now you guys are what, up at 7?
Almost 8th.
Yeah, my
7,
program
almost
average
8.
is 7.81.
That's really nice growth. Are you proud of yourselves? You really should be. And the thing that I like about this, these are the level of difficulty kind of questions you're gonna encounter on Cape.
It is close. Like,
I
I used to be taking like second grade level tests down all the way up to 8th.
Doesn't that feel good?
Because like in sixth grade, I went up 2 levels.
But it's harder reading, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, you can't just, oh, I think I'll click A.
Yeah.
You really gotta think about it, don't you?
I got to a 10th grade level.
that's what I want
For
this
2
question right
quizzes,
now.
and I'm just like, ugh.
But that's okay, right? You just have to remember, learning isn't always easy. In fact, when you're truly learning, it's a struggle.
Took one 52.
But it's a good struggle.
Second and third grade.
Do you have any other questions for me? None? All right, go back and go to work. Good job, guys. Thank you. All righty, next. Oh, guys, class is almost over, so go ahead. How many had a really good session today? You felt like you learned a lot? I'm super proud of you. That's awesome. Good. I like this because I'm starting to be able to spend more time with each of you.